Today, I want to share a secret that can revolutionize your art and accelerate your progress. It's possible to draw 10 times faster. And no, this isn't an exaggeration. Imagine mastering techniques that will allow you to draw better and faster, with incredible quality and detail, all in a fraction of the time. If you've ever felt like finishing a drawing takes an eternity or feel you could accomplish more but the process seems endless, this video is for you. First, let's break a myth. Drawing quickly doesn't mean drawing poorly or with less quality. In fact, the best artists develop such a fluency with their tools that the process becomes almost automatic. It's as if the lines simply flow, and best of all, without sacrificing detail or precision. The ability to draw quickly comes from a combination of practice, technique, and some organizational strategies that, together, change the game. Here we'll explore these strategies so you can also draw with precision at high speed. By the way, if you're tired of drawing and feeling like nothing is improving, pay attention. Marc Brunet's art school for digital artists was what pulled my drawings out of stagnation and gave me an insane boost. It's like going through an art school, but for a fraction of the price and only with what really matters: perspective, anatomy, color, composition, and much more, all explained step by step, from beginner to advanced. It is, by far, the best and most complete art course on the market. Don't waste time stuck at the same level. The link's in the description. Check it out now. Let's get back to the video. Simplification, deconstructing shapes. If you want to draw fast, the first thing is to learn how to simplify. Have you noticed that complex drawings are actually combinations of simple shapes? Look at a manga character or a realistic face. Everything starts with circles, cylinders, triangles. The technique of decomposition, or deconstruction, of shapes allows you to visualize the drawing even before putting pencil to paper. So here's the tip. Always start by mapping out the basic shapes of your drawing. This will help you understand the overall composition and adjust proportions right from the start, avoiding rework, which eats up precious time. Give it a try. Take a reference image, look at it, and mentally break it down into simple shapes. Draw these shapes on paper first without worrying about details. It may look like you're sketching scribbles, but this skeleton will speed things up afterward. Mastering the gesture. Now that you're familiar with simplification, let's move on to the next step: gestural drawing. Gesture drawing is a powerful technique for quickly and expressively capturing the essence of a pose or expression. It doesn't require perfection but aims to capture the idea, the attitude, the movement. This helps to draw the feeling of the character or scene before even focusing on details. When you practice gesture, you begin to develop an action line, the main path your gaze follows, serving as a guide for the lines that will come later. A good practice is to spend a few minutes each day on gestures. Draw a series of poses in just 30 seconds or a minute. Use loose lines. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The focus here is on agility and capturing the essence of what you're seeing. This constant practice increases the fluidity of your lines and prepares your mind to work more intuitively. Use references save time and gain accuracy. To draw quickly, using visual references is a great shortcut. Many times we get stuck on the idea of drawing from memory or that copying is wrong. But, in fact, references help improve our accuracy and reduce the time needed for decision-making during the creative process. If you know what you want to draw, find similar reference images. It could be a character's pose, the lighting in a scene, or even the style of a setting. This saves you the work of imagining it all and gives you a solid base to speed up the process. Practicing with references allows you to become familiar with proportions, angles, and specific details that might be hard to visualize immediately. So, whenever possible, create reference folders on your computer or phone for each type of element: poses, hands, expressions, animals, etc. With these folders ready, you'll always have a place to find inspiration and guidance for your lines. Creating and using base shapes. Another technique many professional artists use is creating their own base shapes to facilitate drawing recurring elements. This is especially useful for those working with characters or illustration of objects that frequently reappear. Creating a library of base shapes is like having a series of shortcuts in the process. So, whenever you need to draw a hand, an eye, or even an entire body, you'll have your own models to use as a guide. This not only speeds up the process, but also standardizes your style, bringing consistency to your drawings. If you work with digital art, you can create brushes for objects you use often, like rocks, trees, poles, trash cans, benches, and so on. The idea is to avoid redoing the same elements multiple times. Digital drawing, using layers and tools. Those who work with digital art have an incredible advantage when it comes to speeding up the process. Using layers, for example, allows you to draw without fear of making mistakes. Want to adjust the pose or reposition a part of the body? Just use the selection tool and move it however you want. There's no need to erase or redraw, which makes the process much faster. Furthermore, many digital tools, such as Photoshop, Procreate, and Clip Studio, offer features that automate the process, like autofill, line stabilizers, and even symmetry tools that help make your drawings even more accurate and faster. Practice drawing with deadlines. This tip may sound a bit stressful, but setting a time limit for each part of your drawing can be transformative. This is because tight deadlines force your brain to focus and eliminate distractions. Divide the drawing into stages and determine how much time you'll spend on each one. Sketch, details, shading, finishing, and stick to this schedule. If you can't finish something within the time, move on to the next stage and return later if necessary. This practice trains your brain to focus on the essentials, avoiding procrastination on details. Practice with self-imposed limitations. Limiting your tools, color palettes, or even the number of layers you use can force you to simplify and find quicker, more creative solutions. Let's say you limit yourself to just 3 layers in a digital drawing. This forces you to organize your layers better and think about composition more strategically without overloading the project. Or you choose a palette with only 5 colors. This will train your eye to create more interesting mixes and learn to emphasize what really matters in the drawing. Constant study. Finally, the most important tip for drawing faster is continuous study. The more familiar you are with the fundamentals, the easier it will be to draw anything with agility. This is because your brain begins to assimilate these rules naturally without needing to think too much. So, set aside time to study every day, whether it's small anatomy sketches or practicing poses and textures. With these techniques, you'll see that the drawing process becomes increasingly natural, fast, and enjoyable. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these techniques do you already use, or which one do you think will be most useful for your drawing routine? Share in the comments. If this video helped you, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next ones. Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to check the description. There are several important links that can help you even more. See you in the next video.